So I was talking to my friend. I was talking, hey, good morning. I was talking to my friend.
Did you just restart yourself? Still rolling. I just need a clean start there.
Wait, just do Sean. Hey.
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 So,
Welcome, it's an all-new SmartLess.
now, Sean says that he got up at 4 this morning, went back to bed, and that's his standard routine. I guess I remember you telling us about that, but what do you do when you get up at 4 that gets you back down?
I read, I play games on my computer and anything to kind of get my brain back.
So that's something you haven't been able to stop doing,
No,
right?
for
you
years.
You don't sleep through the night.
I mean, if I take something, I do.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I just don't want to do it all the time.
Oh, you're so worried about the temple that is your body, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to put anything nasty inside there.
Yeah, nothing to mix with the other crap that's already in my belly.
You don't want to screw up the mac and cheese gut by now. Your bamboo shoot healthy body.
Sean, how would you describe your body? Because I'll go first. Because somebody asked me to describe Sean's body, and right off the top, I said pigs in a blanket. How would you?
You know,
that's
what's so
what
funny?
came to.
I was watching the Bill Maher show the other night, and the guest got on, and Bill said, "Gosh, you've lost so much weight." And he goes, "Yeah, there's nothing worse than a skinny guy with a pot belly." And I raised my hand, and Scotty was like, "Yep."
No, I don't see you as that.
Me neither.
You guys have.
No, I mean, I could
nice
get there.
frames.
I could get there.
You have a very nice proportional frame. It's true.
You're very
How
nice.
big you think you could get, Sean?
I wanted to get so big when I was younger. I wanted to get I would go to the gym all the time. I'd drink milkshakes. My oldest brother would take me out for burgers, and I would constantly eat. I just couldn't gain a pound.
Well, it was like what?
How'd that pan out? Did it give you? Did you get the look you were looking for? Or
well, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that was a sign of power, right?
Exactly.
Big and huge and sort of a glutton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were thin, what? You had no power?
Yeah. You were
It was a sign of if you were kind of bigger, it was a sign of prosperity.
Wealth.
Right.
Yeah.
Prosperity.
Right.
I was here's something that happened to me yesterday. I was at the car wash.
There you
and
are.
I threw my stuff.
You like to ride through? You like one of those?
No.
I do that with the kids every once in a while.
Oh, you do for real?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. No, Scotty's like, you got to get.
That's what I call, by the way, good, clean fun.
Good, clean weekend fun.
No,
when they go to the car wash is good, clean fun.
No, we get the quotes.
No, you didn't.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sean. Back to Sean.
So I get it hand washed, right? So I'm sitting there. Oh, look at this.
Hold your jokes. Hold your jokes, Will. God, look, he's just. Oh, we heard hand. Time for a HJ joke. Fucking clown. Go ahead, Sean. Fuck.
So I gave my car away for a hand wash. I sit down.
Again.
I'm waiting.
Yep.
And I threw my stuff in the trash, right, when you clean your car up before they wash it. And all of them consist, there's a lot of near full bottles of water. And so I was sitting there because I didn't think I was going to be thirsty. 20 minutes later, I'm like, God, I'm kind of thirsty. So I go back to the trash and pulled out one of the bottled waters.
God, I hope someone took a
And a
picture
woman
of
just
that.
stared at me like there's something wrong with me. And I was conflicted. I was like, do I care what she thinks? Do I not care what she thinks? And I cared what she thought. So I looked at her. I said, I threw my bottle out prematurely. And she said,
oh my God. She just got crazier in her eyes.
She goes, aren't you afraid it's dirty? I said, no, it wasn't touching anything bad. And so she just glared at me.
You're in a conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that was the end of it?
That was the whole thing. That she just ended up staring at me, and I drank it. Would you ever do that? Would you go back and
man, I don't even know where to attack that story. It's just the whole, every part of it is just open for assassination.
Was your water bottle sling already filled with a bottle? Why didn't you just put that thing right in your little water bottle purse and just go sit down and wait for your car to be done? You've got one of those, right?
I threw them out thinking, well, I don't need them, and there was a little but there was a little water left in them. So Then sitting there, I was like, oh, I'm kind of thirsty actually, so I went back into the trash.
I love it.
You don't want to use a glass bottle that's reusable? How fucking dare you?
Or a metal one.
Oh, Sean,
I know.
let me just tell you
I need
something.
to get like a water bottle.
That is, to me, the height of
Will is
privilege.
opening up a plastic water bottle right
Okay.
now.
The height of
Joke. It's a
Hang on
visual
second.
joke for our radio audience. It's not fair.
Well, anyway, enough about that.
Are we getting to the
Right?
guest?
Oh, no. You don't want to do another hour on that?
Will,
All right, so
Will,
Go
what'd
ahead.
you get into last night?
Last night I got into nothing much. It was pretty chill. It was kids. It was movie night for the little guys. Every night is
Did you
movie
watch
night.
the movie with them?
Yeah, but
What
they
movie?
kind of last night we ended up watching the classic Peter Pan, and so what they'll do is they'll go
Wholesome.
the
So
night
we're
before
talking about the little boys, not the
the
big
little
boys.
boys, and so they'll go. We want to watch Pinocchio, and I'm like, okay, so you put it on, right? We put it on in our room. They come in, they call it movie night, sort of 20 minutes before their bedtime, and then they don't really watch. What they really want to do is they want to be flipped on the bed and thrown into the pillows.
yeah, I
Right.
get it.
That
Like
gets them all riled
Denny will
up. and-
actually he'll just look at you and go, "Can you throw me, please?" And you go, "Oh yeah, okay."
but doesn't get them all fired up and then
No,
they can't go to bed?
As it turns out, and you can look it up, as it turns out, that kind of activity, getting thrown around and getting sort of squeezed and stuff, it gets a lot of like nervous energy out, and they end up falling asleep. And it's been
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been
Maybe
about
I need to try that so I can.
Yeah, have Scotty throw you around a little, maybe
no,
choke
hey,
you out.
Will you throw me?
Yeah, I'll throw you for sure.
Hey, what about, have you ever gotten real close to accidentally really hurting one of your kids during doing that? I mean, it's like, and trampolines, by the way.
Forget it.
Yeah, Maple wants one. I'm like, honey, no, you're just going to get better and better and better at it, meaning you're going to be flipping yourself higher and higher and doing more revolutions, and then it doesn't end well.
Yeah.
It's the trampoline. We have one. We have a little house out on Long Island in
sure,
New York State.
next to the bowling alley.
And we have a trampoline, and now, of course, it's endured. I'm going to say 6 winters, and it's real rusty. You've seen it; it's always covered in debris. And I'm so stupid. I let the kids are like, "We're going out." I'm like, "Okay," and I'm just wait. It's going to be a moment. There's going to be somebody come back and go, "My arm's backwards."
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I know, I
It's
know.
just go in the pool,
I
kids.
know.
How fun was Sunday? Okay, here, ready?
Sunday was super
Guys,
fun.
You may be noticing a pattern with our guests lately. They're a lot cooler than we are, and my guest today is no exception.
Well, we're getting right
Before
into the
becoming an
intro.
Academy Award-winning actor, he
Come
made
on.
his acting debut alongside his mother in an East Village improv show at age 10.
What?
As a teen, he dabbled in breakdancing to impress the girls, ditto the breakdancing part. And then he played head thug in the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. But I think he's done just a few things since then. We'll have to ask him. It's one of my favorite actors of all time, Sam Rockwell.
Oh,
Hey.
Sammy's all healed up.
What's up, guys?
It's all better.
I'm so sorry you had to wait a really long time for that.
No, that was amazing. That was fantastic.
Okay, listener, our guest today had an illness. What, a few
I
weeks
did.
ago?
Yes.
I did. I had some sort of neurovirus or something. Whatever makes lots of poop come out of you.
Right.
And,
And so,
and
that's what I had.
you had to pull the handbrake day of.
yeah, and
I did.
So what he
I
did
did.
was,
I had a temperature.
and he doesn't know that it's a surprise guest situation. So he texted each one of us individually, or at least me, and said,
I
"Hey,
texted
man."
Jason, yeah.
No, actually, I think it started with just a picture of a thermometer. And, Sam, we're going to let you talk in a second. But listener, you need to know that Sam, one of his things that he's very famous for is sending pictures of really life-scarring images. And I thought, what could this thermometer be? It must be a rectal thermometer coming from Sam. So I didn't really respond. And then a couple days later, he said something like, "Yeah, listen, man, I'm still sick. I'm not going to be able to make it." I'm like, "Hey, Sam, I think you meant to send this to somebody else who might be waiting for
That's
you to
right.
show up somewhere, and
Yeah.
you should just know you sent it to the wrong person." He's like, "Was I not supposed to be on your podcast today?" I'm like, "Oh, so you were a
So I
surprise
blew it.
guest."
But that's
didn't
okay.
matter.
Will didn't
Didn't
know, and
matter.
Jason didn't know when you were going to come on, so it's fine.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Still a
Yeah.
surprise to all of us.
Hey, guys.
It's so good to see you, Sam. Thank you
it's
for
so
being
good to
here
see you.
today. This is
Sam,
so
so good
cool.
to see you guys, man.
man.
One of my
And
favorites
are
ever.
you doing the same Jason Bateman thing because of a part? Were you
I
growing
am.
all this facial hair out? Yeah.
I am. I'm doing something in April where I sort of look like
Yeah, me too. April 15th. I got it.
Oh,
But
yeah?
you grow
What if
a
it was the
man's-
same part?
You grow a man's beard. Yeah, what if it was the same part? You grow a men's beard. Mine's
Well, how long has that been? How long you got on that?
about 6 years. No, this is
You might
about.
need some hair and makeup. You might need to go into the
but
trailer.
my guy's
Get a little
supposed to kind of
prosthetics.
be a real loser and is
Well, you got
incapable
that part, but get to the beard.
Yeah, I got
anyway,
another month left.
Sammy, thanks for being here. Tell me, I want to
Dude.
get into all of it, but I want to
Yes.
know about the breakdancing thing when you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was bad breakdancing.
But I
call
remember
that-
years ago, I saw you do the splits on Saturday Night Live. I was like, is that really him? Was that really you?
Yeah, I did it. I tore my hamstring doing it during Fool for Love, actually, 8 times a week.
Wow.
We did
Fool for
it.
Love
It was
is
a
great.
bit in the play. Yeah. It's not. You got to be
You
warmed
did the
up.
full-on splits?
It's a cheat. It's a cheat. I don't know if it's the risky business or the James Brown, but you're kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
Careful.
Like,
it's not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, careful. It's not quite the splits.
Well, have you always been able to kind of do that? You always been a bit of a dancer?
I kind of messed around. I remember watching James Brown and watching Michael Jackson. I was into. It was a way to meet girls when I was 12, and I guess I watched Risky Business and tried to imitate that.
Now, but then the great limited series that you did with all the with the Fosse
Verdon,
like
yeah.
you don't just sort of train for that. You need to be somewhat gifted before you even consider taking that part on. So you know what you're doing on the dance floor, yeah?
Yeah. Well, thanks. But that was the first formal training I did. I think on that thing.
How much dancing you doing these days, man?
Hey, cool it, bro. He's
I just
involved
wanna
in a
know.
very
Hey man,
heavy
we did
relationship.
G-Force, man. Cool it.
I know, it's true.
Wait, you
It's
guys
true.
were in G-Force together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
well,
both
I was
What a
getting
cast,
big.
by the way.
What a cast, Zach.
Galifianakis, Bill Nye.
Yeah, Bill Nye. That's right.
Yeah. Heck of a cast.
So Sam, when you were a kid, San Francisco, right? I love San Francisco.
Yeah.
Or in the city or just like in the Bay
In the
Area?
city proper. Yeah. Moved all
Wow,
around.
and
yeah.
and your parents were both actors too.
Yeah, and my father was a union rep for the supermarket clerks and the printers, and we lived everywhere. Fillmore, Tenderloin, Castro. I met Harvey Milk when I was 8 years old. He was getting
Wow.
into unions and stuff. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. My dad was a big union guy. Couldn't cross a picket line.
And
all
what
that.
do you think that San Francisco had more of an artistic community, or as
Yeah.
much of an artistic community as New York, or was it different? Or what's the difference?
It wasn't as cool. I wanted to go to the Fame School.
Yeah.
I went to sort of a small school of the arts in San Francisco. I went to high school with Margaret Cho, Aisha
wow.
Tyler.
Wow.
Me and Aisha dated for a while, and we were in
wow.
a very terrible improvisational troupe called Batwing Lubricant. And it was bad. We did bad improv. But we performed at the Other Cafe, which is a famous place.
Now, so what age are we at now when the acting bug starts to take hold?
Well, I was 10. I dabbled with it, and then I was sort of busy getting stoned and trying to meet girls, and then I didn't take acting very seriously. And it was kind of a rough school, McAteer, but we had the soda kids within that, like about 500 of them within the 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And Juvenile Hall was across the street. So it was like a mixture of kids from the Mission. There were rich kids coming in for the School of the Arts. And I was dating a dancer, and it was around, 16. I was kind of dabbling in it, but I didn't take it seriously.
Well, and then when did it get serious? Did you move out of there? Did you go to New York?
I got a movie when I was 18, and then I moved to New York, and I didn't really I do like, toothpaste commercials and shit like that. And then I studied with William Esper when I was 23.
Sure.
I did 2 years with him, and then I met my acting coach there, Terry Knickerbocker.
Oh wow.
And studied Meisner. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, why was the
Yeah.
move to New York instead of Los Angeles? Shorter drive, more opportunity?
Yeah, I guess my mom lived there. And so I
okay.
thought that was the place to go. And I kind of romanticized being a struggling actor because I'd seen my mom do it.
And a free place to stay, maybe.
And a free place to stay for
But
about a
I
year,
love
yeah.
that story you told in your acceptance speech when you won your
yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just hold it because we are going to put we're going to put applause in.
Use mine
for sure. But dude, so you win an Oscar and you tell that great story about going to the movies with your dad, and I loved that the way. And I'm just going. I literally just remember it because it was so impactful that your dad would take you out of school and he'd lie to the school saying that you had to do some shit or somebody died.
Yeah, that my grandmother had passed away. Yeah.
again.
It's pretty morbid, isn't it?
That's so good. That's so great.
Fucking the best, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was in music camp when I was a kid, and I sent a letter to my mom saying, "Can you please come pick me up? Please just tell him Grandpa died. Please, just tell him Grandpa died, and you have to pick me up." She never did.
She never did. Yeah.
And did you love it? Did you love getting pulled out of school, going to the movies, or did you want to stay in school and hang out with your buddies?
No, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was the school I was in at the time. I think I was getting beat up a lot. It was kind of a rough school.
Yeah, you were like in fight. I read you were in a lot of fights. The white supremacist.
Yeah,
kids.
but I didn't win any of the fights. I was getting my ass kicked, and then my dad. Yeah, so when my dad took me out, I was like, "Yeah, let's get the hell out of here," you know. And then thank God Grandma was alive, and then we went. We went to the opening day of Rocky.
oh God,
Really?
And nobody had heard of it.
My dad took me to all of those movies during that time too. They were so good. All those movies that
Back
none
to
of
the
my friends
Future.
were seeing. But like my friends weren't going in to see like the Werner Herzog, documentary, and like or like any movies with subtitles.
No.
Yeah,
I
my dad would-
remember my mom would take me too. I was kind of like her movie pal. I remember her taking me to see, was it Missing? The one with Sissy Spacek and Jack Lemmon?
Yeah, and Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, about the people going missing in Chile. I was 11.
How old were you
I'm
when
like,
you saw that?
11.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep for months.
I saw The Deer Hunter when I was 10. I saw Taxi Driver when I was 8.
Exactly. Right? And it's
Yeah,
like got
man.
you excited about movies, but it makes you grow up quick.
But there's something there. Okay, but there is something there messaging wise, which is like, you don't want to take your kids to just see something that's got gratuitous violence or language or whatever. But if it's great filmmaking and it's a great story and it's it's great art, then there's value in
The
that.
violence needs to be
Absolutely.
done cinematically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, people enjoy the other thing. I was on a plane once. I saw a guy watch Fast and Furious movies with the sound off. I'm just saying. So there's something for everybody.
Right.
That is when you've had the full lobotomy. Right? That's when they took it all out. They just scraped it clean.
Wait, Sam. So I also read you hurt your hands or something. Was that from fighting?
I heard, no, it was a car accident. Yeah.
What?
Wait.
So,
Is that
you
is
see
that
that?
fully extended?
Oh wait, do it again.
Can you not straight? Oh yeah, you can straighten them out.
So I won't be
Oh,
playing
look
the
at that!
piano.
Wow.
Oh, the
Yeah.
ginger.
What happened?
Oh
The
my
ginger's
God.
a
You
little
see it
tweaked.
in the Green Mile for a second.
Yeah.
It works for that character, but I usually.
So
I
he has a tweaked tip of his the FU
Yeah, they were
finger.
all crushed. All
Yeah.
4 of them were crushed.
What happened?
Car accident. I flipped a Jeep Cherokee on Sunset and La Brea.
Just fucking got into a squat and you just flipped it? Or you were in it?
That's right. I'm fucking
use your
strong.
legs. Yeah.
I started the roids really early.
That'd be so good if you were like driving around and you just see Rockwell and you're like, is he flipping a fucking car?
So wait, Sunset and La Brea. That sounds like so you were upset at the Fat Burger there on the corner. We're not getting you.
Yeah.
I hit the lead a little. After it rains, when it gets kind of oily
Yeah.
in LA, the roads, and I hit the lead kind of fast. I was trying to impress a girl, and she kept going. I took a left turn, and I got into a skid, and I got out of the skid, and it just went. But those models, I think, tended to flip pretty easily.
They're tippers.
Wait, you're a model. You're talking about the car or the girl?
The Jeep Cherokee. The Jeep Cherokee.
Walk me back. You're trying to impress a girl at the stoplight that you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to like do like a American Graffiti kind of hit the lead kind of thing.
Sure.
And but then I took a left and I got into a skid. And then I got out of the skid, but then I hit the curb and I went psh, like
Fuck.
Do you miss driving being in New York?
that. No, I don't miss
Not
driving
at all?
No, I drive in movies.
Yeah.
But that's like a video game.
Yeah, that's true. I once had to drive in a movie, and the scene was I was driving a car that was going the wrong way on a freeway. And what they did was they built one of these pods on top of the car where they have a stunt driver up there with a wheel that is steering the car so that he or she can make all the correct turns. They're not relying on an actor to go left, go right in coordination with the cars coming at you going left and right that they've worked out. It was the most horrific thing I've ever been through, where I'm speeding the
'Cause
wrong
you're not
way
in
on
control.
a
William Friedkin?
Yeah, and I'm not in control, but looking as if I am. I'm turning my wheel, but there's a dude up on top of the roof in a little tiny built pod,
seen
just
that,
That
a couple of
doesn't
hours
sound great
earlier.
to me. That sounds kind
No,
of...
but it worked.
If
Thank
you have
God.
control issues, especially.
I kind of want to race cars. Does anybody else want to race cars? I'm
Do you
not
really
even
want to
kidding.
race cars?
I do kind of want to just try it once.
Wow.
You know, guys, for my birthday, that's
Jason.
what I want. I'm not kidding.
Do you really? I
Yeah,
can
let's
set
do
that
that.
up. Yeah, we can go up to Willow Springs.
I'm not kidding.
Jason fucking won. We've talked about it. Jason's won that thing 3 times.
I know. I want to.
You've raced cars, Jason?
I mean, in a celebrity race. But then I did have 2.
What kind of car is that?
No, you flipped a car in a real race in the Poconos.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It
Holy
was
shit.
professional for 2 races, and then I got upside down and said, "Okay, I'm good.
Wow.
I'll go back to the
Yeah.
celeb stuff."
Fassbender's doing that, right? He's
Yo,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing, but he's doing the real
He races
version.
like BMWs and shit across Europe.
Yeah.
Wow. That's intense.
Sam, I want to get
I
back
don't
to
need
you.
to do that.
I want to get back to you when you're at the
I
beginning.
do it on Broadway.
Sure.
I race
Yeah.
Sure,
cars.
sure.
Yeah.
I do it on the boards.
I can't wait to just talk theater and all that.
Hey.
We're gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam,
I gotta-
anything ever funny ever happen on stage? Anyone ever forget a line?
I've
You
never
know-
seen Sean skip over I want to get to Broadway. I've never seen him go like,
Can
we'll
we
get to
talk
that.
about this little show that Sean did at the Tabasco?
Oh, the
Was he
Tabasco.
not just spicy as hell in that?
Oh.
Oscar.
You're very nice
Incredible.
to come, Sam. It meant a lot to me. It meant a
It
lot.
was. Wait, but seriously, listen. I go on about all you guys and like Arrested Development. I go on about Ozark, identity theft. If Jason hears me say identity theft one more time, he's going to punch me in the face. But
That was the movie. I was driving the wrong way down the freeway.
was that the movie?
Was it
It
really?
was, yeah.
But I mean, I'd seen you in a play before. I didn't realize that you're a fucking assassin.
I know.
Oh, that's
I mean,
very
that.
nice.
What the fuck? What was that?
And do you think that's why we were all so knocked out? Because we just thought it wasn't going to be good at
Yeah.
all. Like,
Yeah.
here we
Yeah,
are,
just
boy,
another play.
we're
That's-
sitting here, we're going to watch a train wreck
Sammy,
here.
when we went and saw the opening night, and we're all there and we're sort of fucking like, and Jason, right as the sort of curtain comes down, Jason turns to me, tears in his eyes, and he goes, "Podcast is over."
When it was, when the play was over, and he had just like gained mountains of respect in Will and I's mind, and it was already very high. But to see you do that,
That's very nice.
the level you did it, and I'm crying, and the curtain comes down after the curtain call, and I turned to Will, I said, "Well, the fucking podcast is ruined now."
It's ruined.
So now you got to double down on the bust his chops.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing.
That's very nice. All
Shut up,
very
Sean.
Hey, Sean, can I ask you a question for real? Can I be
Yeah,
real
yeah.
now that we're on this subject?
Yeah.
Do you have any good theater stories?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. And then, Sam, I want one ready, locked
know
and loaded.
what?
So get ready because
Okay.
you're all
Okay,
theater.
okay.
Don't
Get one
fucking
locked.
threaten me
But-
with a great story.
But listen, I just sent Will this thing that stretches out your calf because if you stretch out your calves and your hams, you release your lower back because Will's been having lower back stuff. So I got that during Goodnight Oscar because I started getting plantar fasciitis, like my feet started hurting.
Oh, yeah,
and it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
bad during a couple shows. I was literally shuffling along like I was 95 years old. I was in so much pain doing the show. And 2 days later, Will, I used that thing I sent you. It was gone.
Sean sent me.
Did you ever get the boot?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
got the
that
boot one,
it's that thing that kind of rocks, to stretch your calves,
your
right? You
calf.
put your foot on it, and it's just a,
Yeah. And you sleep in it, right? You sleep in it. It's like
No,
it's like a
you
ski boot.
You just stand on it. No, you just stand on it, and
okay,
you
that's
just kind of
something else,
seesaw. My son Abel, my son Danny, who's
this.
who's like 3.5. Looks like that.
Oh, okay, that's something else. Oh, that's advanced. Yeah.
So these guys know I've been having this issue with my hamstring, and then it became like a sort of sciatic nerve thing, and I'm fucking going to see this guy. We're not going to mention Tarek again. This would be 4 in a row where we were mentioning Dr. Tarek.
Tarek is great. What
Yeah,
have
you know
you seen?
Tarek.
Duran?
You know
Have you seen Duran, the Israeli magician?
No, but do you know Tarek?
Wait,
you know Tarek?
you get to watch magic tricks while
Okay,
he's
so
working on
Tarek's
your
the fucking. So I've been going to Tarek. I've been living in his office for the last 2
Tarek
weeks.
is he's got a great elbow. Duran is also great.
Amazing.
Great. I don't know
shit.
Duran. I don't know Tarek has an unbelievable elbow. When he gets it there, forget it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Sean on Sunday night, we're at dinner with friends, and he goes, "I'm going to get you this thing, this rocking thing." It comes the next day. Monday. I do it yesterday. By yesterday afternoon, I feel infinitely better.
Really?
That's really good.
Dude,
Huh.
Oh,
it's the
really
fucking.
good.
You just
It's
got to stretch your
unreal.
hams and your calves, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you've been screwed up for a few weeks on that.
I have. Indeed,
great.
I have.
It starts with the feet. Yeah.
Starts
Sam,
with-
so hand injuries from the car. Any injuries from Broadway?
Yeah, hamstring. Well, I've had tendinosis, 2 calves from other stuff. That's about it. Shoulders are creaky.
Yeah.
You name it.
How old are you now, Sam?
I'm 77. No, I'm 55.
Right. So we're all
look
about
great.
the same age.
Yeah.
You look fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You guys
but
look great.
things start to ache a little bit, right? Like I don't
Yeah,
feel
man.
like I deserve the kind of knee kind of tweaking or the hip kind of tweak because we're all staying in pretty good shape. We exercise and stuff, but
Yeah,
you know the
Just
car
happens.
the car does break down.
it does break down. It's really annoying.
But so Sam, go talk to me about the quote well-paying 1994 Miller Lite commercial.
Oh my God.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
is that when you knew like, okay, I got this big commercial. It pays really well. Maybe I can quit all my other jobs. And what were those other jobs?
Well, I worked in a lot of restaurants, barback, busboy. I delivered burritos.
Wow.
You know, I heard your Ruffalo when he was bartending. It was kind of a similar time around when I was 28, 29. I started working more as an actor. Started doing movies and stuff. Yeah, but delivering burritos on a bicycle was my last job.
No
Who
shit.
do you go furthest back with
Yeah.
of the actor buddies that you
man.
still have? Like, do you go back furthest with like Crude Up or or
yeah,
Mark
Crude Up and
or-
Thoreau and I were together during 9/11, and we knew Phil, and very happy for Jeffrey Wright and Paul Giamatti and
For Tracy,
Ruffalo.
that's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yes,
We
listen.
don't really mention, as you probably know, we don't really like to mention Thoreau on this podcast.
Yeah, so we'll cut
It's
that out.
funny you
We'll
should
go, we'll
say
go
that.
back. We'll trim that
He's
out.
kind of
you know.
persona non G around here, you know?
Yeah. Well.
Does he have a message
He told
for
me
us? This
to
fucker,
give you a
this-
message. He said
This mother.
you could ask Arnett this question from a listener in New York named Justin T. Will, when you buy button-down shirts, do you take them somewhere? Take them to someone to remove the top 5 buttons, or do you just buy them pre-removed? Also wondering, what's your nighttime? Let me get this right. Décalage routine. Love the show. Keep up the good work.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Well, that's rich
so
coming
true.
from a guy that removes his sleeves.
I didn't realize you don't usually button. You don't have any buttons.
Is that true?
Yes, true.
What do you call it? Is that called a Burt Reynolds? You mean like you go like that?
Yes.
I do. If I'm wearing a
I
button
do
shirt,
that.
yeah, I do a lot of this. But you know
Why?
what? You know what
Why?
it is?
Because you think people like you're doing
you
people a
gotta give
favor.
You
people
gotta
what
show a
they.
little skin.
You got to give
right?
people what they want.
Right.
This is a world. You have to understand that we are always transmitting and receiving, and so I'm putting out, and I'm also receiving, and so I feel from the world they want to get more skin. Sammy knows what I'm talking
I know
about.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
All right, Sammy.
Yeah.
Lawn dogs.
Yes. Talk about skin. Yeah, lots of skin on that.
I know, right? Wait, so you received critical acclaim,
Yeah.
and your performance was like incredible.
Thank you. Thanks.
I love that movie.
Those were the days. I had
I've
abs.
not heard of Lawn Dogs.
Lawn dog. Oh, you got to see it. It's
Come
so
on.
good.
Yeah, I get naked and
I think I've seen.
yeah, boy, I was in good shape back then. That was fun.
Yeah,
Is that the thing you think kind of opened the doors for you?
the porn.
Yeah, I think so. I think that that was one of them. We did Safe Men with Paul Giamatti, Ruffalo, Dinklage.
I was going to say Safe Man, that Hamburg, right? Wasn't that
You know
Hamburg?
Safe Men? Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah.
It's a little gem, I think.
Yeah.
And,
I knew those guys. I knew some of those guys because those guys who produced it, I think they were the same dudes who made my
guys.
buddy Steps movie that I did. Yeah. Anyway, great
Yeah,
guys.
and then Box of Moonlight was those three kind of
Box of Moonlight.
Yeah.
helped me get. And then Galaxy Quest and Green Mile sort of
Okay,
happened.
so
at the
I want to
same
talk
time.
about Galaxy Quest. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Dude,
love
I
it so much.
saw Safe Man. I really love Safe Man, by the way, and I knew a lot of those dudes. But then when you did fucking Galaxy Quest, Rockwell, you absolutely destroyed.
Yeah,
You
incredible.
destroyed it,
Incredible.
Thanks, man.
dude.
Thanks, guys.
I auditioned for the Enrico Colin
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
part. Yeah, still waiting to hear.
You're not right for it.
I know I'm not right for it.
Well, they agreed, but I'm just saying that. that you're
So
not
wait,
right.
this is from your character Guy Fleegman, right?
Yes.
He was so fucking great.
Fuck.
It was like
Thanks.
the pick me energy. This is from Scotty, okay?
Oh boy.
Scotty said the whole bit about you not wanting to be sent down first, your character, like whenever you go to a planet.
Yeah.
Those characters always died. That was a reference to Star Trek. You probably know this. Star Trek and the red shirts. Which
Yes.
They're expendables. But a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that. that in Star Trek, whenever Spock and Kirk would come to a planet,
That's right.
they would always send these guys down first, and they would always die. It was such a funny
I just kind of stole my performance from Bill Paxton in Aliens, pretty much.
Hey, Sean, just wide it out. I just want to see if I can see them make out the Mountain Dew on your desk, if it's possible. If I get the fucking monster
and
energy
the Star
drink.
Trek cosplay outfit. I mean,
No, but it was. You know what, though? It is true. That was the first time somebody sort of made that kind of joke on screen. Your fucking delivery, Sammy. It's just unfucking real. Dude, every time.
We lucked out with that movie.
Sam, you're one of those guys, and I talk about this from time to time on the podcast. You're one of those people, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
It never
could
sucks.
be the worst. You never suck. You could be in the worst movie, the worst play, the worst TV. You're always unbelievable because you're so committed. I fucking love that about you.
I know, I love that too. Do you ever feel like, I was going to say the same thing. Do you ever feel like movie to movie, obviously you never know what you got or what you're in or what you have. Can you feel it by now at this point in your career as you're going day one, week one, month two? You know what? I think I'm in a piece of shit. Or I think this is working. Or I think this is really working. Because I said when I did Goodnight Oscar, we had an invited dress. We had an invited dress rehearsal with a bunch of kids who didn't get any of the references because it takes place in the 50s. And it was crickets the whole play. I came home to Scotty. I said, I'm in a piece of shit. I think I'm in a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah. It's always scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. And the next night it was.
Yeah. That's a great thing. So what is your barometer on that? Like, how do you feel?
Well, first of all, thank you. And right back at you, all three of you guys. And, but yeah, I think you always think it's fucking Hamlet, right? I mean, you think it's Citizen Kane. I mean, when you're working on it. And then at a certain point, you realize maybe it's not. And then.
Yeah, it starts to take on water.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, yeah. And then you're like, oh, shit, this could be bad.
This could be. I remember Baldwin once saying to me, Alec once says to me, he goes, you never intend to make a bad movie. He goes, you go like, you agree to do something and you're making this movie with people and they go, hey, we're going to go over here. And you go, great. I can't wait. I'm excited to go over here. And then you start making it, and all of a sudden you start going the other direction. You go, hey, I thought we were going over there. And they're like, no, we're going over here.
Yeah. And you can, and sometimes it comes from watching another performance or a decision a director makes or just the general vibe on the set from the crew or whatever. And you can start to smell it, right? Yeah. And you just can't there's nothing you can do about it because you're only doing one little piece of it. Does
it take away the energy? Do you start depleting yourself of kind of the same chutzpah you entered
I don't think you do. Like you always deliver though.
Well, I think if you sign up and you get talked, I think when you get talked into something,
yeah.
And I won't mention any names, but when you get talked into something, that's when it's bad. You know what I mean? And you try to do a fixer-upper thing on it.
Right, but you have, Willie, you said that, that he fully commits, and that's certainly part of why he's so great. But I've seen a lot of crappy actors fully commit to a crappy performance that doesn't fix it. I mean, he's fully committing to a performance that's coming from a guy with great taste. So
yes.
There's somehow that you have the ability to keep one eye on yourself and judge whether the choice you're making sucks or not. And you're staying away from sucky choices with the way in which you play characters. Is that
Sean? Do you make a lot of sucky choices in your life? You made a lot of sucky choices?
Sam. No, just ignore it.
You want to make God laugh telling your plans, right? So you just never know. You never know.
Right. Yeah. But you have good taste. Did that come from did you get it from mom or dad or from watching a bunch of great stuff?
I think it's just more ego, to be frank. I think it's more like just wanting to have a big part of it. Right. Have a reason to get up there.
Right. And doing something that you're going to want to watch.
It doesn't mean that it has to be a lead role. It can be a supporting role. Sure. That you're going to want to be a part of. So,
do you watch your stuff? Are you one of those actors that can't watch?
If it's good, it's like a home movie. If it comes on, Seven Psychopaths came on. I love that experience was really
Yeah,
Great.
I hear Martin McDonagh is just about the best guy in the world to work with.
He's the best, man, and Chris Walken, I'd done a play with him, and then we did the movie, and Colin and Woody. So we had, it was just a really nice time. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So it's isn't it like a home movie, right? When you see, it's either a bad experience or a good experience,
But what about like on set? Will you watch playback to sort of help in calibrating your performance, or do you like to stay in the dark?
Only if it's like mainly for the canvas, or if I'm a lot of times just to get maybe a tone, and then I stay away from it. And a lot of times I'm noticing if I do look at it, I'm under where I used to be over the top, but I'm noticing it's actually I need more, and then I need to contain it.
I would say tell the director to bring the camera closer instead of you reaching out, Fucking, if they can't see it, they got to get closer. You stay small.
Or bring your own.
Bring your own. Wear one of those GoPros turned back on yourself.
When you say to see the canvas, do you and to see the canvas and the tone, are those two different things? Like, do you mean sometimes that you actually look at it and go like, because when you're in it, you don't have a sense of like the bigger picture, and then when you get to see it, you go, "Oh, okay." With it, like, in terms of staging and what effect it is.
I guess I'm talking about stakes. I'm talking about stakes.
Interesting.
But, Crude Up is one of the people I've gone to beyond my acting coach or my friend Chris Messina, who I've gone to a lot of friends for help. Stanley Tucci, lots of people. And but Crude Up is particularly
bad. So we're gonna say?
Yes, he's rough.
Sorry,
man.
I cut you off. Yeah.
He's got to go back to NYU and figure it out.
Self-graduated.
He's hard to look at.
He is tough to look at.
No, what were you going to say? He's particularly helpful?
Yeah, he's very articulate about acting. He can. I went to him with American Buffalo. I was like,
amazing.
I was losing my saliva. Literally, I couldn't get through the speech. And I said, man, I need your help, man. I can't get through this fucking thing. And he came over and he really helped me. He really broke it down for me. He's really smart.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
What was it? Sorry,
What's the key to keeping your mouth nice and lubricated?
Who's this for? Who's that question for?
Sorry, Sam, I was looking at you.
Okay.
Very good question.
Okay.
Voice warm-ups, Sean. Warm-ups, right?
Very good. Very good.
Keeping. They say bite your tongue, but I do a voice warm-up, 20-minute Linklater warm-up.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it wild when you're doing a live?
Pee a lot, drink a lot of water.
Yes, that's good. When you're doing a live play, that you've created this character and this world through weeks of rehearsals. Then you get up on your feet. So you created this piece of art, and you think people will know your choices. Like they think. Yeah. So for your speech, for example, you're like, well, I can't change it. This is how it's supposed to go. But people don't know that. So you're like, well, I don't want to change. But you're like, hey, buddy, you could take the biggest pause in the world in the middle of a monologue, drink a glass of water. You can add anything. Nobody knows how it's supposed to go. But in your mind, you're like, no, I'm compromising the role. I'm compromising the part. And that's the thing I always bump up against.
I once saw John Malkovich do Burn This.
Oh, yeah, me too. I saw that.
Right? So what about that opening monologue as he comes in after, fucking trying to get a parking spot out in front of the goddamn building, and he's fixing his hair in the mirror, and he stops in the middle of a sentence, not at a punctuation point, middle of a sentence for at least a minute while he's fucking with his hair, and then picks right back up on his monologue another minute or two, talking. I just couldn't believe the balls.
Yeah.
I was a young actor watching this. I was like, oh, fuck, that's incredible what this guy does.
Incredible.
He's one of my favorites.
That performance was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So anyway, I added 2 glasses of water in the scene. I'm like, I think my character should drink water now.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. I had a 6-page monologue. I had the director. I said, can I have like a water fountain? He said, no.
Oh, really?
I said, well, what can I have? I said, get a lifesaver. I was in a park. And so I was like, all right.
Now, I'll ask you a real hacky question here
that
there is no answer for, but I'll ask it anyway. You prefer doing theater over camera work?
No, I mean, it's totally different. I think it's just the gym, and it's really scary, and it's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
And it informs your film work, I think. But it helps, like Chris Walken does that monologue in Pulp Fiction. I think it's because he did Hamlet, he did Rose Tattoo and
Yes, but
Stanley Kowalski.
But would you not agree that if you do a stage level performance in front of the camera, you'd be doing too much? And
For sure, definitely.
But interesting,
Absolutely.
Sam. Talk about that idea. It's like going to the gym for film work.
Well, it's just obviously you can't scream. You can't do a stage performance, especially the ones I've done. Because they're big. You know, in front of a camera, that would not work. But I think all you got to do is turn the volume down, I guess. Maybe that's not as simple as it sounds, but
well, it's calibrating.
Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy the bigger movement, or do you enjoy getting super small and letting the camera find the little stuff?
I prefer being small even on stage. I don't want to get big on stage. In fact, I think that's the trick but I've never done a musical, so I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But I think keeping it real and still being loud with your and still being able to hit the back row with your voice is a trick, you know.
Right.
Phil Hoffman taught me a lot about that. I mean, it sounds name droppy, but he also is somebody he directed me in a play, and he was very you know. But listener doesn't want to hear about process.
Well,
sure they do. They'll listen to whatever. They have to listen to whatever the fuck we tell them.
Really?
You know what I mean? They can get, by the way, the podcast, it's free. They can not listen if they want.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
I love hearing you talk about this shit.
I do too.
Well, Phil, Phil was you guys know.
He was.
Of course.
I'm envious that you guys knew him and I didn't. But now tell me about. Do you like doing? I love that whenever you're doing a lead role in a film, I just because I want more of you at all times.
Dude, I love
but oftentimes the lead role is not as spicy or as fun as some of the secondary or tertiary roles. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I think that's something. Here we go with the name drop shit. But Clooney, I think
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
I don't know.
A little bit.
Clooney's not a name drop here.
But Clooney taught me a lot. Because I come in with all these props and all these. I'd be smacking it up, and
well, you were the lead in his first film,
and I was the lead in the film. And he's like, "Hey, man, we can't do Bozo the Clown every scene. We got to
that was the note.
He didn't say that, but I was like, Zero Mostel in there. I mean, by the way, one of the great actors, Zero Mostel. But he said, too many props, and let's just keep it. You're the lead guy here. You got to keep it simple. And I learned a lot from him about that. It's true because it's a canvas, right? So you're not necessarily the color red all the time.
Right.
Kevin Costner. And Dances with Wolves. I mean, he's, they got other people providing those colors.
You got to you really suss that out when you read the script and you talk about it and you develop it and you show up. You're like, where do I fit? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to be, sometimes you have to be a blank canvas, right? If you're the lead in a certain way, you have to be able to let other colors. Jason obviously has been a blank canvas to me for so many years. He's been this off-white mayonnaise sort of eggshell color.
Well, I think Jason's performance in Identity Theft is
There we go.
Now you love Identity Theft.
Amazing.
Let's walk through Identity
Thief.
Let's show a clip.
Thief.
We'll just show a real quick clip.
Let's go to clip.
It's pretty amazing.
By the way, I will say, I love Identity Theft as well. I've told Jason that before. It's a fucking great Identity Thief.
It's really good, man.
Identity Thief. But the other one I like a lot, even more than what I saw recently, and I've told him, is Game Night. Have you seen fucking Game Night?
I love Game
Night's
Night.
a good movie.
Jason is...
Sammy, have you not seen Game Night?
I need to see that. I need to watch
my God. It's so good.
It's so funny.
Okay, I need to watch that.
Jason is so good
Jason is hilarious.
And he knows how to play stakes, right?
Dude.
And still be
Dude.
I love that movie.
That movie holds up to multiple viewings.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. By the way, Game Night is one of the most is one of the last great. I haven't seen a great film comedy since Game Night. Yeah,
Game Night. It's
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
those guys.
It's going to be your new Identity Thief.
With that. No, Sam, you have not seen it yet, right?
I haven't seen it. No,
so good.
It's not bad.
Oh, it's Rachel
I've
McAdams.
seen Horrible Bosses. I've seen the one
Jesse
where,
Plemons.
You piss in the pond and
Oh
With
yeah,
Olivia.
the old Magic Pond with Ryan. Yeah.
That's
You know who's really funny in that movie? Billy Magnuson.
Yeah, that guy's a real talent.
He is hilarious.
Yeah,
in
he's
that
a
he is
movie.
really
hilarious.
good
I've
dude.
seen him in a
Everybody's
few
great.
And
things.
Sharon Horgan's in it too.
Sharon
Sharon
Horgan
Horgan's
is
great.
amazing.
I
Kyle
love Sharon
Chandler, that from Friday Night Lights.
Kyle Chandler.
How great
Yeah,
is
but
Kyle?
fucking
Anyway,
Sam's with us.
Sam
Let's talk
Rockwell.
about
Game
all
night.
his
Game night. I'm on it.
So wait, Sam,
you guys haven't said anything about my shirt.
that you
what does it
are.
say?
I'm serious.
I was trying to read it. I couldn't see it, and I wasn't
haven't
sure.
spelled
I am
That's fucking-
serious,
that's bad
and
framing,
don't call me.
Wait, he's wearing tan pants, and for a second I thought he was shirt cocking, that he just had his shirt. You guys,
Wait, Sam, what does the shirt say?
shirt cocking is a real.
It's an airplane shirt.
It's
and It
airplane.
says, "I'm serious," and don't call
And
me
don't
Shirley.
call me
Shirley. Oh, yeah. That's great.
That's a great T.
I mean, they should redo that movie, right? I mean, there's a whole, not because it needs to be
Or should
redone,
they?
but just because there's a whole new generation or three or
No.
four now that haven't seen
I'm
it that would
against
love
Oh, Will's
that
upset.
stuff.
I'm against the reboots. I'm against the reboots altogether.
Just haven't watched the old one, right?
I watched the old one, and it maybe it's not as quick or doesn't cut as fast, but it's good. It's got value, and then let's do some new stuff.
Not Leslie Nielsen.
Let's create stuff now that people 20 years will say, let's reboot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
okay.
There's so much
All
of
right.
the same shit. No. Let me go on a fucking tirade.
Wait, Sam.
By the way, guess who Sam worked with a couple of years ago? You guys going to blow both of your minds.
Leslie Nielsen.
No, it's a friend of the show. It's one of the great names of the show. It's one of the all-time references of the show.
Kareem
He's one-
Abdul-Jabbar.
Who he comes up on the show all the time. I talk about him all the time.
Chappie.
Chappie, Mark Chappell, who wrote "See How They Run," is Chappie's one of my best pals, and he's my co-writer.
Great.
And
He's
and,
great.
and must be giving Will at least $10,000 every time his name is
Chappie comes
mentioned.
up a lot on the. He's a recurring on the show.
Again,
in London, and he lives
Get
in
the
London.
scissors out, guys. Sean,
Yeah,
drive
Sam.
the interview.
Yes,
We're
thank
not
you.
cutting
So
Chappie
Sam,
out.
Great
so-
scripts the other run.
Yeah, so
script.
Moon, when you did Moon,
Yeah.
I loved Moon. It's so, I mean, it was just you.
God bless you. God bless
I
you.
loved that movie so much.
Now
And
Duncan Jones knows how to direct, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Go back and talk about, like, I know it's okay. You can talk about process. That's why we're here.
Okay.
It-
I don't
it's
want to
just-
bore
just
the
about-
hell out of.
Because
Yeah.
I'm
Listener.
fascinated what was it like day to day? Did you like the process of being the only person in the movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
Tracy,
was it like?
this is a movie where he's the only guy in it, and he's stuck on a spaceship.
It's stunning. It's
Yeah,
stunning.
incredible.
It's a really good movie.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Well, my acting coach, the first thing he says, watch buddy movies. He said, watch Midnight Cowboy I watched, and
Midnight
I stole
Run.
a lot from Midnight Cowboy. And then, Rachel Weisz just did a reboot of Dead Ringers, which is fucking amazing what she did.
Wow.
And I was watching the Jeremy Irons one. That was the best version of that trick I had seen. And I listened to the DVD commentary. And there's a very noisy camera called the motion control camera that's used for that gag to get two people in one frame. And it's a very weird process that I could go into. But it's,
Give us a little bit.
well, there's a lot about timing. The sound guy would put the previous take, the master on my iPod, and while I was going to hair and makeup for the other one, I would listen to it. So the ping pong scene would be a timing thing. So when I went back to the other clone,
So you're acting against yourself.
acting against yourself, and so I would listen to the sounds. So like if he dropped the handle of the paddle like that, the other clone would retract because he's coming towards him. So I'd have to listen for that, and
know how many beats you have to wait before you speak. And,
Yeah, and he was saying, Duncan was like, don't ad lib. But if you could ad lib if you fit it in the window,
Right.
The timing, you could change the line, but it have to be that time, And
I wonder if today, technologically, it would be less antiquated.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy did a good job with it too, and but it's tricky. It's
tricky, but and it's a lot of work. And talking about paying attention, you have to pay attention to the scene as it is. But now you really got to pay because you're also trying to pick up on timing. Another thing, did it scratch an itch in a way that you didn't know? Like, was it satisfying on a certain?
Absolutely.
In a certain way?
If you're a narcissist and a director, a closeted director, you have control of the scene, obviously, for obvious reasons. And Jeremy Irons talked about contrasting energies. So one twin in Dead Ringers was aggressive, and Rachel Weisz did the same thing very well. One was more timid, And so we had to do that. That was the trick, was having contrasting energies. And so one was a clown and one was more together. And you can control the scene. In fact, we'd have 2 rehearsals. The AD would go, hey, okay, go to hair and makeup. So Mick, we got to do the other rehearsal. We got to do the other one. So you'd rehearse twice,
Wow.
before you went.
Oh, wow.
So
You'd rehearse both sides before.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I had a body double guy, and who was also an actor.
And then the other line was coming to you through an earwig.
Yeah, an earwig. And sometimes you'd be looking at a tennis ball. Sometimes the actor who kind of looks like you from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a contemplative, sort of melancholy, dramatic movie.
Yes.
Do you again, another brain dead question, but do you have a preference about drama versus comedy? I mean,
well, it's funny you say that, because it was a little too serious, and I said we got to get some jokes in the beginning, because it was so dark. It was like Edgar Allan Poe, and we got some jokes in because we were going to lose the audience because he gets so depressing.
Yeah, but then there's that the risk of setting the wrong tone for that
right.
which is going
That's
to come,
true.
right? So there's a balance there. I remember I was a super precious and annoying and overly sensitive about
At dinner the other night?
any sort of humor going into Ozark. The writers had these great sort of moments of levity in the first season.
Where did you find the compromise eventually? Did you?
Well, once we established that, this Jason Bateman show is not going to be a comedy, once the audience knew that after the first season, I felt more comfortable about, making
Did you watch, a serious question, did you watch, after asking them to sort of erase all that, did you watch it once you got to post, where you're like, fuck, I wish there was a moment there? Did you miss it a little bit? I don't mean a goofy thing, but at least a little bit of contrast?
I was too sort of paranoid about it being taken seriously in the first year that I didn't worry about that, but the second year I was like, yeah. Anyway, sorry to talk about fucking me again.
It's fucking great.
Sam,
fucking great.
What do we got to do to have you working?
Scene where you beat the guy up in the car is fucking great.
Yeah.
What about?
But you earn that. You earn that. Because you
fucking earned it.
What about how do we get you? How do we get you working 12 months a year so I, as a Sam Rockwell fan, can have more to enjoy?
That's a great.
I mean,
yes.
I think I have to, because you're balancing theater and film. So I got to go to New York to see you sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. Which I'm coming. I'm coming this weekend for 7 months. So get ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to do some hanging.
Thoreau and Crude Up, we're all waiting.
So wait, Sam, what's the, when we're talking about all these kind of prep things for roles and different movies, do you have a thing that you first do when you either walk on a set or prepare for a character? Do you have like a go-to, any kind of superstition thing like we do in theater?
No, it all comes out of fear, trying to memorize the script and panic and then you go see my coach, Terry Knickerbocker, or I go, and sometimes you have time to do research, sometimes you don't. And you might have the luxury of a few months, and then you would do research, like 3 billboards or something. I did research, but you don't always have the time to do that. So you're kind of all right, I'm an arms dealer. Okay, fuck, I'm going to watch Bill Murray and Kingpin. That's it. That's my research.
Are you like Billy? Because Billy talks about it, and you guys know, like Billy likes to spend time with the dialogue for weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. Did you see the one-man show he did? Jesus Christ.
No,
it's a lot of dialogue.
Missed it. But are you good at learning your lines? Are you quick with that?
No. Terrible. I need time.
Really?
I need a lot of time, yeah.
Yeah.
I need a lot of time.
Have you always been terrible?
I mean, I tape them monotone. That's a Meisner thing, but I tape them and I run them with a reader, an actor. I think Billy does a similar thing. Billy's smarter than me, though. He knows how to. He really breaks his shit down. My partner does too, Leslie. Her script is really organized. Mine looks like a kindergartner wrote on.
I'm always fearful that I'm gonna, if I really, really work on it and I do a bunch of research and all that stuff, that I'll end up acting. That all of that is to do the greatest acting job ever, as opposed.
But come on, Jason,
that's my
work.
own bullshit.
You put work in.
I do put a lot of work into it, but there's a list of techniques and homework stuff that I used to do when I was a kid and went to acting classes and stuff like that. And I found that I was so proud of the work that I had done that I was hell bent on making sure the audience saw that work.
I understand that. Yeah, I mean, I don't like backstory. That's the thing I don't really care about.
Yeah,
I don't. I think
interesting,
but it's important for some actors. Everyone's got a different thing.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I think it depends. It depends if it makes an imprint on you. You can get an ad lib from somebody, a real person.
Do you ever get a? I was going to actually, Sean, get into like sort of the difference, and with you, Sammy, as well, about. Then when you're working on stage, then you have the sort of the luxury of time to work on that, and you understand, and you have a facility with the dialogue because you've been working on it for months. But before I get into that, have you ever had the thing where I've had a couple of times where like a guy, like a member of the crew between takes would go, hey, you know what I thought it'd be really funny if you said? Yeah. And I go, what's that now? Like pitching me a joke or like a different way to say a joke. And I'd be like, what up?
And it's not bad sometimes.
And they go like, I just thought it'd be really funny if you said this. I'm like, oh yeah? Okay, man. Well, I thought it'd be really funny if you moved the fucking C-stand over there. You know what I mean?
But what if it's a good idea, you dick?
No, I'm kidding. I'm being a fuck. Actually, it should be, I'm just saying that just to be funny. Yeah. The truth is, I've actually had some pretty good pitches before from sound dudes. Yeah, and there was a boom operator that I knew, this guy Tom, who was really fucking funny. Jay, do you remember that dude Tom?
Yeah.
And he was super funny. And every once in a while, like between takes, he'd go like, hey, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. And I go, fuck, that's fucking great. And I'd use it. And I'd be like, thank you.
Give him a little wink.
I know. What if an actor does it? What if another actor does it? And then you're like,
all right, fuck, that's a fight.
I'm always like best whatever. If it works, it works. Like,
I never mind that. I never mind like a line reading from a director either, because you're always going to make it your own.
No, but you know what? There is that thing, and I will not say who this is, but there are things before where like an actor might say to you like, hey, it'd be really great, say this, and they'll in rehearsal, and they'll say it to the director as you're doing a rehearsal. So you're at that point, you go like, everybody's kind of waiting for me to do his pitch
that he said out loud.
You do director, it, and then they laugh. Yeah. I see, isn't that amazing? And you're so embarrassed.
Well, that brings me to my thing about directing is I was thinking, Jason, I don't know what you do with actors, but I feel like you're really good with actors. But I don't know when a director screams a direction across a long distance, over the crew, it's kind of telling the whole crew that the rabbit's going to come out of the hat before it does, and then you're like, hey man, there's a lot of pressure to take the rabbit out of that. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and then you end up then you end up adjusting your reading to make it surprising for the crew when it's not really the reading that would be right for the audience at home.
Yeah. I kind of want a conspiracy with the director.
Yeah,
I love secret.
Yeah, whispering. Yeah.
Sam, what do you do when all of this is, when we're not talking about this and you're not doing this? What do you do?
Yeah, what's the hobby? What would our listeners be excited to learn that you do?
Kickboxing. Well, somebody, I think maybe Thoreau just told me potato chips are not a protein, which is
that's weird,
alarming. But I was during the pandemic. I got into some potato chips. No, I overwork out and then I overeat. Blah blah blah. I do. That's I'm kind of compulsive.
What's your exercise of choice? Are you a jogger?
Everything. Like I might hit hot yoga, or I might lift weights, or I got the Soul Cycle here. Hit the mitts, that kind of shit.
Yeah. And that's all to facilitate your snacking.
All to facilitate,
that's why I work out.
A little IPA, a little potato chips, some chocolate. Well, you do a little bit of the boxing, right? You do a little bit of.
I've been doing. Thoreau got me into like doing the Soul Cycle of boxing.
My friend does that. Yeah.
Fight camp. Right,
yeah,
and by the way, got me in shape. But now my son, what's interesting is my son, my oldest son, who's 15, Archie. Because I started doing that, he got into it because of Thoreau through somebody else. Anyway, he starts to fight. Now he's fighting with a real guy in a gym every weekend, which is crazy.
Oh, she's sparring. Your son's
So
sparring?
he's sparring, and he's really getting into it. He's way better than me.
Tell him to be careful.
So I know.
I'm very excited to see Argyle. Should I be?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I saw
great.
the trailer. It looks incredible, and I love Matthew Vaughn.
It's really fun.
That looks like a blast to shoot a movie like that.
A
I'm
whole
very
movie about a
jealous.
sweater.
Yeah.
It's a
so
whole
it's just so it starts with the idea, then the knitting, and then someone wears it. Walk me through it.
You just gave away the ending.
That's right. No, it's a lot of fun. You guys, your heads.
Do you like doing all the action stuff and the stunts and things like? Did you get hurt at all? You must have.
No, we had an amazing stunt
He's
team.
agile, dude. He's fucking look at him. He's agile.
But you got to do the start of the stunt and the end of the stunt,
Yeah, you
right?
gotta do a little bit of the kung fu fighting. Yeah, that's right.
And you had fun with that.
I like it. It's fun. I like it. The fake stylized violence. But I had an amazing stunt double. Every time I would do something, I thought I was going fast, and then I'd watch him, and then I looked like I was in slow motion.
Is this a stunt double you've worked with before?
He's amazing. No, he's a prodigy. His name's Greg Talley. He's like a Jackie Chan. He's from Northern England. He's a gymnast. He's a double for Spider-Man. He's 26. He was 24 when he did mine. Yeah. He's amazing.
Did he get hurt?
He did get hurt on another thing, but he's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you ever have you ever gotten hurt or hurt somebody doing a scene?
No, Tim Roth and I kind of hit each other, kind of clipped each other in a rain machine doing a fight, but it was fine. Nothing
Was it
serious.
on holiday or during a shoot?
I broke my toe talking to my agent in my house once. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably
I once sprained my finger getting into a Tesla. Yeah.
You know
did.
what, Sam? We took up way too much of your time.
Wait. I want to ask you about Oscar though. How did you get ready for that? How did you do that? What was your research for that?
Well,
took a G5 to New York, and then and then it escalated from Teterboro to the Upper West Side. I think
You really, but you nailed that guy. That's a lot of behavior, man. That's a lot. It's a whole thing with the imitate. Forget about the piano.
it's a long story, and it took about 20 years.
does it involve scooping up bagels from Zabar's and filling them with peanut butter?
By the way, Sam,
it's endless. It's endless, Sean.
call me on it. Side zoom me.
All right. We'll side zoom. It's side zoom.
But really quick, I did put on a few pounds, and I've said this story on here before, and one of the reviews in Chicago where we opened it said Sean's going to be great on Broadway, but he needs to kill the fat suit and the plastic wig, both my body and my hair.
Yeah,
Wow.
you weren't wearing a wig or a fat suit. Is that right?
Wow, that's
No,
rough.
Sean.
Oh, Shawnee.
But anyway, Sam, thanks for asking,
Yeah.
Sam. That's very
Well, I'd
sweet.
like to hear more.
But we didn't even get to be handing in Spokane or billboards, which you won the Oscar for, which I fucking blew my mind. You blew my mind.
There's
in
so
that.
much
Thanks.
to talk
I will
to.
say there are very few people. There are a lot of people. No, sorry, that's not true. I will say a lot of people are deserving of Oscars all the time, every year, and they're very. But to see you win an Oscar was so
You deserve
cool.
10 of them.
so fucking cool.
I love you
because
guys,
you're
man.
so
It's
fucking
true.
deserving,
It's
dude.
true.
You're so talented, and you're just
And
bursting
really
with
quick,
talent.
when I was
God bless
doing, you were doing Behanding in Spokane while I was doing Promises.
That's
and
right.
I went downstairs to the basement to get my hair cut from a woman named, I think her name's Carmel. And I walked down getting ready for my weekly or bi-weekly haircut. And there you are sitting in the chair. And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
What's he doing here?
Yeah.
I'm like, why did he come here to get his haircut? I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Like I was guffawing. I
I'm
couldn't
just a
believe it.
parasite.
Yeah,
right?
listener, if you're not in the entertainment industry, you need to know that this guy is the guy everybody wants to work with, be friends with.
it's true.
He does
You guys are too
constantly
kind.
the best performances. It's just
Always.
It's just catnip for actors, and the fact that we're able to even call ourselves friends with him is enormous. So yeah, you deserve multiple statues.
Yeah.
And I want more. I
You
can't
need
wait
to get a
hang out with you.
Thalberg right now. You need to get a full,
Yeah.
right?
We're gonna give you the SmartLess Thalberg.
Let's do that.
Listen, I love you guys. I love this podcast. I'm a true,
We love you.
true fan. I know the terminology. I'm anyway. I love you guys.
Love you too, Sam. Thanks for
Love
being here
you.
today.
Can't wait to
It's
see you
good to
soon. And the beard looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You look amazing. You look
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Thanks for doing this, dude. God.
Dude, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And let's give Thoreau endless shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, please. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't
I'm
hurt
telling you, we're gonna
him
do it
more
in
than he
person
hurts himself,
soon.
you know? Let's be honest.
All right, big fat love.
All right, big fat love. Thanks, guys.
See you, buddy.
Peace
Sam.
out.
Thanks,
Bye,
love.
buddy.
Peace out.
Bye, Sammy.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, Sam the Rock.
Shawnee, great
I
guest.
love him so much. He's such a good guy too.
He's just the greatest. You know, you
Yeah.
want to. Well, I sound like a broken record, but I truly do.
But you know, when you go like Will, when you were saying, you go through all of it, when I was researching him and knowing he was coming on today, you go through all of his films and his projects. You're like, bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam,
Yeah.
bam,
Yeah.
hit after hit. And if they weren't like a massive hit, he was great. And like you said, he was great in it. It's just it's the result of dedicating your life like he has to a craft or an art or anything.
He also
a
is
walking
just like,
example.
no matter what part he's playing, even if it's, sort of just like, the lead that's kind of the straight guy, where he'll find a way to give that character some quirk, something interesting. There's a little
always.
bit of like sparkle to
Color,
to-
the little sort of
and
shades and
it's easy to overdo that and overplay a character because it might not be written in the character, but he finds the right spots to do it. And it's
yeah, I was going to say, I've always sort of used John Goodman as my example of the person who's amazing in everything he does, no matter what the thing is over time, right? And different volumes, different tones, dramas, comedies. Sam's in that same category and always good. He's in that like dramas, comedies, things. And like you say, Jay, like just adds color, has a little something, brings a little sparkle.
Like it's the career that you wish you. Oh, well, I wish
Of
I
course.
had.
yeah, but
Of
I
course.
want him to be cast in leads. As
Well,
well
he
as
is.
just like
He-
but it's not as often as they.
It
I
should
mean,
be.
he and I've talked about this. Like there's a certain kind of sort of like, sort of like an average type of look and person and presence that studios feel comfortable with putting as the lead. They don't want anybody too definitive or specific.
Well, that's because they're worried about, because they sort of think, they're always trying to anticipate what they think
Right.
audiences, and they think about sort of economics. They're like, what is the thing, the
Or
prototypical?
physical types.
Yeah, but he can play something
handsome as
completely
fuck.
normal and level, and just at the moments where it's appropriate for the lead.
But he's
to-
almost like too interesting
Yes,
in a way.
better
And I mean
said.
that as a
Thank you.
compliment, not
Yeah.
too weird. He's got so much personality. He's super smart. He's super fucking cool.
He's
by the way,
magnetic on screen,
we
too.
joked about Chappie. You should see how they run. It's a really good movie. He's so interesting in that he's the lead. He's the detective who's got all this shit going on. He's fucking, you're like, fuck, man, this guy's he always brings it. Always brings it.
By the way, Iron Man 2. We didn't talk about Iron Man 2.
Written by
the Justin
Thoreau.
Thoreau.
Justin Thoreau. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
Uh-huh.
about that?
He wrote so hard. That's when the first time the sleeves came off, because he was writing
Yeah.
and
it
it smoked him off.
it was a fire, right?
It was a fire.
It was a wrist fire that worked his way up his arms
way.
there.
Hey,
Yeah.
Will, I don't know what you're doing later, but are you open to throwing me?
Oh.
Sure.
Can you just throw me, please?
Sure, man.
You want to be careful, though. You don't want to break
Of
break
course
your
I
arm.
will.
And if you do break your arm, you want to break it around the forearm. You don't want to break it up near the bicep.
Smart. Less.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Bennett Barbaco, Michael Grant Terry, and Rob Armjarf.
Smart. Less.